Tell me I didn't hit that one out of the park. Huh? Was that a good opening or what? The countdown went all the way down. It went right into the boom, right? That lifeboat thing that Mr. Mark Wages made for us back in the day. And holy Hannah, right at the top of the hour, we nailed it. That doesn't happen very often, people. I'm not a pro. I'm not a pro, and I do not play one on YouTube. However, there has been some talk, and I know that there's going to be a lot of people that are showing up tonight in hopes of seeing me suffer at the hands of Australian yeast spread. Yeesh. In fact, it says Vegemite yeast extract. Just in case you never knew that you thought deep down you wanted to taste yeast extract. I noticed that Alan Ballantyne is here. I love Alan Ballantyne. Alan's my bro. But he's here to see me suffer eating Vegemite. However, the shout out of the day and the participation trophy goes to, and as far as I'm concerned, goes to forever, right? This is now a permanent participation trophy award. This is going to KD because Conky Dong actually went back and researched what I said last night. And what I said was he has the time stamp. We are good to go. I am going to have to pass on this because this, Tommy, make sure you make toast, put butter on it. Yes, I've been advised all of the ways to make this taste a little bit less like yeast extract. Yeah. Oh. But you're going to have to wait, and I'll tell you why, because I did not. The deal was if we hit that 1,000 mark last night, and we did not. We did hit it today, people, and we're still going until midnight. After midnight, we're going to cut it off. I'll be really honest. It got a lot bigger than I thought it was going to get, which is just amazing. I think that there's probably a pretty good chance that he may forward this. It's his decision, but I have a feeling he may forward this toward his legal fund because there is a lot of effort being done to try to get Q out of prison. But I don't have to eat this. Now, that said, I owe the crew a stroming evening. Yeah. Hello, George. Good to see you. Yep. Brewer's yeast scraped off the, yeah, exactly. If I've never said hello to you, welcome to the boat. So here's the deal with this, people. There is an event coming up. I can't tell you the exact date, but there is an event coming up that is going to be, I kid you not, the most epic thing that has ever happened on the lifeboat. I realize that that's really, like I'm saying something, but it is without a doubt the biggest thing that has ever happened on the lifeboat. And there will be stunts. There will be challenges. There will be things that make you go, ugh. And there will be vomitus. There's no way around it. So that is the way it is, people. I have committed that I am going to eat Vegemite, but I did not last night. I'm afraid. Look, I was ready to go, people. I was committed. I announced it today, and then we went back and looked at last night, and I said, if we hit this before midnight, if we hit this tonight, but we didn't. We did hit it in the morning, and I appreciate everybody for that. I really, really do. And the letters, too, and the comments and all of that is fantastic. It really is. De Beaumont resident says that it is similar to Marmite, but it isn't gooey like Marmite. It's more, it's more of a spread that doesn't run. Gotcha. Is Marmite actually made from marmots? That's the question. I wouldn't have known what a marmot was until just recently because I just started seeing them on the internet. There's a lot of shorts that are being done with people who either have marmots as pets or go out and see them in nature. And these things are like teddy bears. Like they go up and just, sort of grab a little pinch of the thing's fat, and it just sort of sits there and looks at them like, hey, why are you touching me? But they're not at all, they don't seem at all afraid of any interaction between humans. Alan, don't tell me you're not bumming, because I know you are. Someday, people, I'm telling you this right now. Someday, in spite of all the visa trouble and all of that, I'm going to get to Australia. If it's the last thing I do, I'm going to get to Australia so that I can force Alan Ballantyne to dine on some delicacies with me. He wants me to eat this garbage. I'll go all the way over there and I will eat it with Alan Ballantyne. But he is going to do some systroming and some other things. But yes, I dodged a bullet on this one. But I do want to talk about some stuff tonight that I think is pretty heavy, and I think it's pretty important. If you go to Australia, eat Moreton Bay bugs. Did that really say Moreton Bay bugs? Why would I want to do that? Moreton Bay, they sell bugs over there. I'm gonna pass. And here's the thing: like, I'm courageous as hell. I might eat them for the sake of saying that I did, but I don't see me enjoying that. I always want a heads up if you ever eat gross stuff. Okay. Do you want a heads up because you don't want to see it, or because you want to? Because trust me, you will get a heads up. We've done it on this channel. If you've never seen it, go back and look at it, because I've eaten some really gross stuff on this channel. If you do want to see that, it's pretty funny, and I've done some pretty crazy stuff. But I do want to get serious tonight, people, because I've done the last couple of videos I've done have been on some heavy subject matters, and I think that there's a good reason for it. In all honesty, what happened is what always happens. This is how a channel like this evolves. We get a bunch of people that come by, and they immediately meet the crew of the lifeboat, and they dig them, and it's fun. And then what we do here is cool. It's a very different kind of a format. It's very laid back. There's interaction with the host, right? It's live every time. It's a very, very cool kind of a setup. And we get a whole crew of new people in here. I want to throw out a challenge. Now, this goes to everybody, whether you're a normie, whether you're an addict who is in recovery and doing well, or could be doing better, wherever you're at. I want to put out a challenge to everybody. We talked on one of my last videos, and if you missed it, shame on you. But in one of our last videos, we talked about phoning it in. Is there something in your life that you probably should be taking a little bit more seriously than you are? Is there something in your life that you could be doing different in such a way that is going to benefit you? Maybe do a better job. Maybe be more diligent. Maybe change how you look at it, whatever it is. But, the process of journaling, the reason I beat the crap out of it is because if you're not writing things down, how do you figure any of these things out? So I want to challenge everybody to start writing down things in that journal that question each aspect and each phase of your life. Which phases would those be? Well, I could sure as hell tell you about the phases of my life. The things that I shouldn't be neglecting, the things that are important, right? I've got the lifeboat, I've got a business, I've got an animal I got to take care of, I have a house, right? All of these things have to be balanced. And, these are the things that I would be writing down. And am I phoning in any of them? And where am I coming up short? Where am I not doing what I'm supposed to be doing? But if you're not writing things down, that quite simply just isn't going to happen for you, right? This isn't an exercise you do in your dome. So when you look at all the rate, what you're doing and where you're at in your life, you start getting a snapshot of where you are at today. What is going on right damn now in your life? Get a snapshot, and then set some goals about where you want to be 6 months from now, a year from now, a decade from now, right? Wherever you see yourself. Is it etched in stone? Hell no, it's fluid. It's going to change, but you should be working towards something. As human beings, we excel when we work towards something. We're designed that way. Simply put, there's really no better way to say it. We are designed to excel. We are at our best always 100% when we are working toward something. I I need to lose some weight. Had that whole heart thing kind of scared the you know what out of me. Yeah, scared it right out of me. And the crazy thing is my blood pressure was really, really quite. I have great blood pressure. I have like people hear my blood pressure and go, "What?" Like 119 over 70 something, right? I have great blood pressure. But I know that for every 10 or 15 pounds of weight I got that I'm carrying around in my carcass, I'm making my heart work harder, right? Plain and simple. There was a time that for years, no exaggeration, I just stopped eating bread. I just said, that's it. I'm never eating bread ever again. It was something I did in prison and I got shredded. I really did. I got shredded. I looked younger than I was. I was in really, really good physical shape, but I got out and it was like, look at all of this cool stuff. I can eat a bagel whenever I want to eat a bagel, right? 24 hours a day. I want to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and have a bagel. I can do that. There is a refrigerator in my home. Those kind of things will change your dietary habits. They just will. And the ability to cook and have a kitchen and all of these things that you just, you take for granted in the real world. Well, I did it for a long time without it. So yeah, I put on a lot of weight when I got out. I was about 205-ish, 205 pounds. And I got up to a little over 230. It's got to stop. So there's an aspect of my life I'm not happy with. I'm not taking care of myself in the body department the way that I was. And I really need to, because of a whole host of reasons. I really need my body to be in better shape. It's gonna keep me around longer. I have some things with my heart, and I have every single thing in my life is going to be better health wise if I take a little time and actually make myself a little healthier. So I intend to lose some weight. And I'm going down the checklist and I'm starting to go through these things. And you know what? You could wait until January. You could. It's a big deal. That whole January 1st thing, right? They'll talk about it on every single news channel. They'll talk about it on Good Morning America. They'll talk about it on those crazy women that sit around the table. I don't know the name of the show, but you know what I'm talking about. They're going to talk about it. Everybody and their brother is going to talk about making New Year's resolutions and changing your life. I'll tell you what, we're in the middle of the year. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's find some things in your life. A lot of people just got here. And you know what? If you just got here and you're sober, fantastic. But this journey is really about, living the best life you possibly can, being the best version of you that you can be. Are you the best version that you can be of yourself currently? The View. Thank you, Carousel Delirium. See, all I had to do was drop one hint. If we were playing that like $20,000 pyramid thing, we'd have been set. I'd have been like, bunch of crazy women. They sit at a table. Boom. The View. Yes. Next question. But seriously, this is goal setting season. This is a time to start saying, this is what I want. And whether you've been sober a week or 5 months or whatever, very often we get into patterns that don't move us forward in life. A lot of times when we first get sober, we're so damn happy that we're not sticking needles in our arm, or we're so damn happy that we're not drinking a fifth a day, that there's a lot of crap in our life we could put up with because, man, I don't have to drink a fifth a day. Yeah, my room's a bit of a mess. Look, get off my back. I'm sober, right? I fought hard for that. Yeah, I don't, man, do it all. Do it all. Go down that list. How are you keeping the place that you live? How are you, this is an excellent time right now to start taking a look at where you're at. It's a lot of fun to hang out. It's a lot of fun to clown around. It's a lot of fun to do all of the things that we do. The weekends are great. They are. I dig the lifeboat on the weekends. But you know what? The number of people, there are a lot of you who are checking out the boat, who still use. We love you. And you can do that until the end of time. But do me a favor. Whether you quit now or you don't, give it some thought. Give it some thought. Start putting a pen to a piece of paper. Start writing things down and watch what kind of amazing things happen in your life. Did you hear me lisp there for a second? I started to lisp. Hate when that happens. The rolling chat makes me nauseous. Well, I apologize. I really do. Sometimes on the larger the days we have a lot of people in here, sometimes the chat really does get cooking. In the course of an hour, there could be over 1,000 messages that people put up, which is that does get the ball rolling. We have a new crew member who is KD. There he is. So we have a new crew member who's from the other side of the pond as well. And we have not had an opportunity to speak, but this individual is a barrister and came across, so that's lawyer in Euro speak. But this barrister came across one of the videos that I did that I talked about my ex-wife being my defense attorney, and this poor individual keeps missing the live feeds, but apparently goes back and watches all of them after the fact. And the question that this individual wanted answered was about that. So this is what basically happened. When I was waiting for my attorney, they had sent up several people that were paralegals that were super young and just were asking me a bunch of questions about what was going on with the bank robberies and taking notes. But I was fairly concerned for my life, and I was looking at 25 years. So I said to one of the paralegals, I said, "Tell your boss that if you guys send up another paralegal, that I'm going to find a different attorney." Because they're threatening me with all kinds of time and all these crazy things. Well, the next day they sent up a girl who was absolutely breathtaking. She really was. She bore a striking resemblance to Britney Spears. In fact, it was one of those things that everywhere we went, someone would say, "Do you know who you look like?" Like she had not heard it before, but she looked a lot like Britney Spears. Looked very, very young, and was wearing a hooded sweatshirt. And I came around the corner and saw her sitting there and just thought, they sent me another paralegal. She did not look old enough to be an attorney by a long stretch. And I went in and I sat down, and I guess I kind of started being a jerk from the word go. And Alan Valentine, appreciate you, Alan. Alan just gifted 5 memberships to people here on the boat. So we got some new crew members. Thank you so much, Alan. Really appreciate that. I really do. But I had been in my cell that morning and the little box went off, and I was an in-house worker, so I was not ever locked down. I was usually sweeping or doing something, but my cell door would stay open. This was in the county jail. And they said, you have a visitor. And I went around the corner and here she was. And she was, really, 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 really a beautiful girl. And I went in and sat down and talked to her, and I started in with just sort of an attitude problem. And she said, "Is there a reason you're angry?" I said, "Man, this is my life on the line." I said, "I told them not to send me another paralegal." And she said, I'm not a paralegal. I'm the second attorney on your case. I'm second chair, I believe was the term she used. And I said, "Yeah, well, you don't look like a freaking attorney." And she sort of gave me the up and down. And she said, "Yeah, you really don't look like a freaking bank robber." And the two of us started to laugh. And then it just went from there. It was a very odd and bizarre thing that I ended up with a relationship with my attorney, and in hindsight, it didn't do any real good for her life or her career to be associated with a bank robber, and for that I apologize to the woman. I really do. I never had any desire to bring anything but good things into this woman's life. And sadly, it didn't work out that way. That happens often. And this one was on me. So, but once again, these are the things that you learn over time. I'm not good at that whole thing. Kelly Cross says, "Hi guys, I'm late, still working." Kelly Cross, send me an email to the myyahoo.com. Just send an email that says it's me to sober@myyahoo.com. If you don't mind, do it as soon as the show's over or whatever. Just send me one, tell me it's you, and say, right, please, because I feel like I lost a thread that the two of us were talking on, and I tend to have a better luck over there. Not sure I've ever heard a guy say it's his fault. Well, you probably didn't deal with guys that were as it was a pretty easy decision in my case. It was my fault. If it's blatantly obvious, maybe those other gentlemen had I don't know their situations. I don't know their situations, but it was most assuredly my fault. In fact, I can say that about all of them. Sadly, um, I don't remember a relationship that went south because of something that someone else did. I don't remember that. I really don't. Most of them were on me, if not all of them. Sadly, that's the truth. But that's pretty much when I got to the realization that I'm just not very good at it, and I'm all right with that. That's a yeah. Have you ever considered that there may be a person with the right twists and turns to make it work? I never thought I would get married again, but it's been great. 12 years. Good for you, Carol. How cool is that? Look, I never say never, you know. I just what did Clint Eastwood say in that film? A man's got to know his limitations. Right? I have a handle on my limitations. I know the things that I'm good at. I know the things that I am not. Kelly Cross. You'll get used to I'm sorry, people. Got something in my eye. Doesn't make for a great video, but boy, oh boy, that hurt. Sorry about that. I forgot where we were at. I'm sorry, people. The old gray matter, it isn't what it used to be. I used to do considerably better at remembering where I was and all kinds of yeah. You get old, and it's one of the affectations of getting old, which is unfortunate as hell, but it is. Looks like you'll be back on Aaron soon to talk about Danny Masterson again. Kathy, good to see you. I'm glad that you're here. You were reading about the live chat is becoming busier in a quick manner. It's hard. You'll get used to it. Yeah. Or maybe I won't. Suppose it could go either way on that. You know what? I am, as I said earlier, I am blessed that tonight is going to be one of those nights that I do not have to eat any Vegemite. And that, people, is something I'm pretty happy about. Wharton Fisto, good to see you, Wharton. I'm glad you are here. Danny Masterson has agreed to cooperate with the pre-sentencing stuff. Is that right? Well, that is fascinating. Perhaps he watches, or his family watches, Aaron's channel. I honestly wouldn't rule that out. You know what I mean? I honestly wouldn't rule that out. I think that there's a chance that that's kind of the situation that we find ourselves in, because it seems like I don't know. There's been a couple of other times that Aaron had pointed out that it almost seems like something that he talks about on his channel, shortly thereafter, there's an effect, like a cause and effect from the whatever his subject matter is, to people making some. I mean, this is a 180. This is, if that's in fact what he's decided to do, then he's done a complete 180-degree turn in the entire situation. Yeah. So I'm also toying around, people. I don't know. It's if you've been on the boat for any length of time, we used to play a video in the very beginning of the lifeboat, and if you've ever gone back and done any deep dives, you've probably seen it. It's me in a hat, and I'm talking about the rules of the boat. We may end up recording another one of those. I hate the idea of doing it. I know it's a bummer to have to listen to it, but especially before we go live. I may figure out a way to try to get it to scroll on the bottom or something. But I do want to make sure that we sort of spell out, some of the stuff that makes us unique, because we are slightly different from some other channels in some ways. We absolutely are in some ways, which is a good thing. Yeah, I have not heard from him yet, but that's not a real shocker. He puts up a lot of content. Like, he puts up way more than we do, and we put up a lot. There are days he does 4 and 5 videos, which is it's impressive. It helps when you're doing it live, because you can see what's going on. Can I get a 5x5 from anybody? I'm starting to get a sneaky suspicion that I might be having trouble with my microphone. Okay. Maybe it's just this. Yeah, I don't know. Not exactly sure what is going on with that. But hopefully with any luck, we will be on over there tomorrow. That would be a blessing. It's always nice to go over there. It brings more people here, and the more people that we can expose to to the idea that you don't have to live your life in slavery, the better off that we are. Thanks you, everybody. Appreciate that. Full of Hope says, am I blocked? Well, since I can read that, I'm going to guess no. Aaron was taking his family out to eat tonight. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why you would be blocked. I didn't delete any of your comments either. I don't know. The reason I was asking for a 5x5 is because for about 40 seconds, no comments went up. So that's why I was asking. Carol says, was it giving you error messages? Quiet Girl says, mine were deleted too. Alan Ballantyne says, none of your chats were deleted. It appears that the chat froze. Dennis N., thank you. Everybody here is saying that they had the same phenomenon, and it was the reason that I was asking for a 5x5, because for a very long time nobody moved. How many we got here? There's Barrister 13. Dan the Donkey is only complying with part of the pretrial stuff, but nothing on allegations. Well, that checks out, right? That's that would make sense, because he's going to, of course, be putting in a hopeless appeal, right? He's definitely going to be going down that route. So I would imagine he's going to be talking a lot about his past and anything that he thinks can mitigate maybe trauma from when he was a kid. Perhaps this kind of thing happened to him. Those are the kind of things that, in my experience, those are the kind of things that inmates tried to work to get some kind of action, was to say that there was, things in their past, because that really is one of the things that they take into consideration over here anyway. The Church of Scientology heard us mess with them, so they sent Xenu to mess with the stream. Could be, right? Could be. or just one of their hackers. They're an unusual group of people. I shudder to call them a church. I really do. He is meeting with mental health professionals. Well, I'm sorry that your messages were getting deleted, full of hope. It was happening to everybody, apparently. Good night. Hope you sleep well. We'll see you on deck. He is meeting with a mental health professionals about his own abuse as a teenager at 15. Quiet girl knows some dirt on it. That's apparently what's happening, huh? Well, I'll be darned. Well, that is the kind of thing that I was talking about. Those are the kind of things that come out on pre-sentence investigations because it gives they hope that it gives the judge reasons to maybe sentence a little bit lower. Barrister agrees. Says it's used all the time. Oh. They're thinking maybe he'll give some info on Scientology in exchange for something. Interesting. Very interesting. And you know what? So that would really be here's what could happen. A lot of good nights to Full of Hope. You know what could happen? You could see them charge him. If they charge Danny for something in the feds, right? If they can hit him with a federal crime, now he would have some juice on the table to try to get something done, right? He could then try to testify or talk trash about the Church of Scientology, and the feds would probably be interested in that. I can't see at the state level that getting any juice. I could be wrong. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time, but I feel like if he was in the federal system, that's something that he could do. Carousel Delirium says, Tommy and the Lifeboat mentioned on AA Ron's channel today. Do you realize that I've been saying that so much that when I see Aaron, I read it AA Ron? Apparently, if anyone else is having trouble leaving comments, just leave and then come back, and that should fix it, apparently. I think Quiet Girl is referring to Danny Masterson, and yeah, his family is they're big in Scientology, apparently. Yeah, right. This is a very interesting point. Blue Girl 77 says, what's going to bite them is writing and recording everything they do, so the feds will have a field day. You know what? There really is something to that, isn't there? I mean, they really do keep pretty incredible books. I call my boss AA Ron now. I can't call anybody whose name is Blake. Like that will be Balake to me forever now. It's just, and AA Ron is the same way. It's just too funny. I call anyone named Aaron AA Ron now. Yeah, I get it. Sandy, apparently the rumor is that he and I will be doing a live tomorrow. Anytime. It was a car that runs on water, man. Sorry. Hey, Shimmy. That's funny. Tomorrow, I will probably be on Growing Up in Scientology over on SPTV because of Danny saying that he wants to because he wants to cut a deal and what that might mean. You done messed up. Hey, Ron. Kelly. But yeah, if you My goodness, what a day. I'm sorry, people. Somebody scrambled my brain earlier. I did. I scrambled my brain earlier. I was reading comments, and when they go by really fast, every once in a while a comment will go by and it'll be a gut punch. You'll read something and you'll realize that, oh, that hurts. And it kind of throws you off your game. It's just one of those. No big deal. Me too. Aaron. If you don't say it out loud, I'll say it in my head. That's funny, Blue Girl. Yeah, I get that. I really do. It's one of those things that once, well, and we've seen it a ton of times. Somebody needs to give Tommy a slap and reset him. Boy, you know what? There's something to that, man. There really is. I could use just a good, maybe and have a really good fresh shave. Hey, what's up, Texas? Good to see you. It only took me like 6 months to realize when you changed your name. Hey, Kelly, you'd be really surprised at just how much a new lifeboat member born deserves a 1. Yep. Absolutely deserves a 1. I'll give you that. Absolutely deserves a 1. I'm glad that it's running again. You know what, people? We really don't block people too easily. If we block somebody, it's because they were really pushing it. You know what I mean? Kelly, I think you'll be really surprised at the amount of elasticity in our brains, the amount of repair that our brains can do to themselves. It seems sometimes like the damage that we've done is overwhelming, and it's beyond repair. I was, you know what? I sent you 2 emails. I hope you were getting them. I hope I am too, because I don't know. I may not always write a novel, but I always respond. And I'm sorry. I hope that, yes, I commented back and I asked her to have you start a thread over on the other. Let me see here. Yes, I have it. So we're good. I have it. Thank you. And I will respond. Everything is bigger in Texas. You guys have the biggest bugs I have ever seen. The biggest bugs that I've ever seen, I would normally say, are in Australia. They have some ridiculously big bugs. My brother Alan will tell you. They got bugs over there you can put saddles on. They got spiders over there you can put saddles on. However, just recently, because of the monsoon season, we have tarantulas, and they're everywhere. I shouldn't say that, because for all I know, I keep seeing the same 2. But I've seen 2 different ones that are always either in my garage or just outside or around my garage. And one of them I kind of scooped up and moved outside and away from everything. Hey, Normie, good to see you. But big, huge, gnarly, furry, brown and black. They look more like a Rottweiler than they do like a spider. They're like really big, and they've got these man, don't get me going. I really am just not a spider person. I just do not like spiders. You know what? We try. Apparently, I don't always respond fast enough. I really do try. I swear to you, I do. It's sometimes it's a bit overwhelming because there's a lot of people, and but we do respond. I promise you. Might take a second, but we respond. You love spiders. You did not just write that. But not surprise spiders. Oh no. Carol, I hope you were able to save the baby chicken. That poor 7-year-old puppy, just being what he is. It's such a bummer. What about scorpions? No, I'm not a big fan of anything that crawls. That's kind of unless they're furry and I can pet them. Like I like cats a lot, and I like dogs. Cats and dogs are great. Um, and if they're cute and furry, I kind of dig them. But yeah, I don't like herbivores. I don't like reptiles. I don't like anything. I like cats and dogs. Birds are kind of cool to look at. Yeah, I hate snakes too. Normie, they're the worst. Barrister, I did the video about my lawyer wife in this video. So if you go to the beginning of this video and you start watching, I even mention you by name, but I tell the story of exactly kind of how that went down. So I won't revisit it because there will be mutiny on the deck of the lifeboat. But you can definitely go back there and catch the replay, which is almost as good as the real thing. And welcome to the lifeboat, by the way. I'm glad that you got an opportunity to get on one of the live feeds. Always cool. It's the boat is just a different experience live. It really is. It's I don't know. It's nice to. There are days there are days when I come on here, I just sort of roll and we go through. We go through a subject matter and we kind of go with it. And there are days that I spend a decent amount of time sort of talking to people in the audience. It's not as much fun for the people that come back and watch it. It's certainly way better if you're catching it live because you know what's being said in the comments section and you know what I'm talking about. If not, you're watching this and you're hearing somebody go, "Oh no, I don't like spiders," and they don't have the perspective. In theory, I should be pumping every one of these comments up there, but it becomes just kind of a pain in the keister. I'm in New Jersey. We really don't have any many biting bugs. Blue girl, it's so tempting just because I'm a loser from the Northeast. It's so tempting to ask you, what part of New Jersey? You thought I was going to say it, didn't you? No, Kelly, I do like to get back to people as soon as possible. But I don't always. My cats eat bugs. Hey, well, you know what? It's one more reason to have a cat. I have fake spiders glued inside the gas fill-up doors on my van. That's funny, Wharton. That's funny. There's a lot of truth to that, Blue Girl. She said that, with a cat, you kind of have to earn a cat's love. Dogs the day you get a dog, they love you. And there really is so much truth to that. It's one of the things that I dig about cats is that there's this long relationship that you build with a feline, and it takes a whole hell of a lot of effort. And it's I'm here in the New England myself, but in Eastern Connecticut. I went to college with a bunch of guys that lived in Connecticut. We used to go down all the time and hang out with them in Meriden, Connecticut. My cat's got issues. Well, of course they do, James R. All cats have issues. It's what makes them interesting. Wharton dropped a Cheeto next to a large spider and decided he would just give the Cheeto the spider. Give the spider the Cheeto. I completely respect that. I would have done the same thing. And that's the truth. Wharton, I would have done the exact same thing. That just makes sense to me. Yeah, I hate them, man. To me, they're one of the most frightening things in the world. Yeah, you are very close to Quiet Girl. You two are up in the same neck of the woods. Oh, I love it. I love it when people from the boat live near one another and can link up. That is an absolutely beautiful thing. Truthfully, it is. But yeah, so I want no one to fear because the foul of fish is coming up. This is not in any way going to this isn't any way going to mess up, us eating the fowl fish. So fear not, it is coming, and I promise you, it's coming pretty quickly. My neighbor ready to shoot my dog. If you're any slower mowing at the fence line, it would be 2 hours. What time is it where you're at, Tommy? Says Barrister 13. Well, currently at this exact moment, it is 13 minutes to the hour of 6. That would be in the PM on the west coast of the United States of America. So I'm on California time, basically. Sorry, hold on. Just reading comments, people. Sorry for the dead air. Just reading comments. Oh, dogs are amazing judges of character, says Blue Girl. Absolutely. You get that more from dogs than you do from cats. And the reason is because you can't tell if your cat's just being a cat. You know what I mean? Like, you bring people in. Have you ever noticed that if you bring somebody to your house and that person hates cats, that your cat's always like, yep, that's a cat hater. I'm going to go over and rub up against it, see if I can't force it to reach down and give me a pet. The cats are just, I understand why the people that say, oh, I don't like cats. I completely understand why they don't like cats, because all the reasons that they list for why they don't like cats are all of the exact same reasons that I list for why I do like cats. You know what I mean? Like, I call a squirrel to me and she kind of looks at me like, is there anything I'm getting out of this? Like, I'll come over there, if maybe there's a chance I'm getting a little pet, or maybe you're going to feed me something. Like, both of those things could get me to go over there, but I'm not walking over there for your entertainment or just for the purpose of the fact that you called me. And I get that. Like, if I were a pet, I would be that kind of pet. It makes sense. You're right, Greg F. It's a sign from a cat. When they look at you and they very slowly blink, it's a thing of respect. It's like, I'm not worried about you. Greg F., good to see you. I hope you're doing well, brother. You are always in my thoughts and prayers. I hope that that you're healing up and that it is getting better every day. I'm always excited when I see you here and that you're typing something up there. I always know that at least we're doing well enough that you can at least read the comments and see it, which is a good thing. Much love. Wait a second. Horton Fistel says, I want a Chihuahua. Wife's been showing me cat videos for a week. Guess we'll have ourselves a cat. Oh, the plan is already made. You know what, Wharton? You're missing a golden opportunity. You got fired up about this cat. Go pick a winner, and you will not believe how much a cat will enrich your life. Yeah. Says the guy that's still picking little pieces of cactus and whatnot out of my body from the run I made last night when Squirrel decided she was going to tour every part of the neighborhood that had a cactus. We have this very, very, we sit in the middle of the property and it's a big chunk of land, but Squirrel saw every bit of it last night. That cat ran all the way down almost to the neighbors, and you can't see the neighbor. Like, I'm bushwhacking through by moonlight in the, late at night, getting all kinds of things stuck in my feet and my legs. And I can't begin to tell you just how upset I was with Squirrel Nut last night. And then it gets worse because I start talking to her and I'm doing that get back here, and she's hearing the voice like, uh-oh, Dad's bummed out. I'm going to go further away. He sounds angry. And I've never, you know what I mean? I wouldn't hit the cat or do anything like that. But, they do hear sounds in your voice. And she thought, oh, I'm in trouble. I don't need that. It was, but it was absolutely miserable running after her. But she's so worth it. She really is. She's a really great animal. Nobody can spell Chihuahua. Don't worry about it. KD says cats are a very effective antidepressant. I agree 100%. And animals in general, there's a bunch of science to back this up. People that consistently have pets throughout their lives live considerably longer than people who don't. There's a lot to be said for the ownership of an animal. And they're family members. It isn't even ownership. It really isn't. It's I don't know. Like if you watch from a distance, you'd sure as hell think squirrel owned this house. You know? My Chi is chill. I got her from the shelter. She's neurotic, but so sweet. I am an absolute huge fan of shelter animals. Shimmy says, my cat is my bestie. I can absolutely understand what you're saying. I really can. My squirrel is a huge, huge part of my life. But yeah, I mean, there's science. You can look up a million different studies done on this. Did we drop that one at the same time? Adopt, don't shop. I have never been a shopper for animals. I look at the shelter and it looks like a prison to me, and I'm always like, it's a prison break. We're going in and we're getting one out. You know what I mean? I always feel like we're breaking one out of prison. It feels fantastic. I love going and getting a cat out of a shelter. It's one of the greatest feelings in the world. And getting squirrel was funny because I've told you the story. I was with Mama Scoville, and they were so damn happy to see squirrel go. I don't know what squirrel was doing. She must have been, but she certainly stuck out in everyone's mind there. When it came time for us to leave with her, they started ringing the bell and cheering, and oh yeah, no. And we had watched him do it for other animals earlier in the day. They do it, but this one was a little more enthusiastic. When they called out the name, it was like every employee stopped what they were doing and were like, "Oh, thank God, they're getting rid of squirrel." Yeah, she's a bit of a handful. All my animals were rescues. Good for you, Miss Dragon. That's why I can't go to shelters. Oh, I get it. I get it. Look, you can't go to a shelter to fart around, pardon me. But like if you're going to a shelter, you know when you get in the car to drive to the shelter, you're coming home with an animal. I mean, that's just the way that works. You need to be really on board with that's what's happening before you go to a shelter. And I'll tell you something, from the sobriety angle of it, there's not much better that you could do. I'm telling you, it is a massive, massive amount of joy that an animal can bring you. Yeah, I know. There's a lot of truth to that. You got superstitious people. Yeah, I did hear that, Kelly. That is something that I heard, which is what a bummer. Truthfully, what a bummer. But we're talking about some very sick people, some very, very sick individuals. If you're watching this, what she wrote was that the people at Scientology, she had heard that they had killed the victims' dogs, Danny Masterson's victims' dogs, and I had heard that as well, which is not good. Kelly Gerling says, I had a Great Dane. And it was a Great Dane and my Shepherd mix. When mom passed in 2017, I inherited her two Dobie rescues. So Doberman pincers. My really big house got really small really quick. Got two left. Good Lord. A Great Dane and some Dobermans. Dobermans are it's another tall dog, tall, long-legged. Yeah, they'll shrink a house down. Oh, Kelly, I love that. I love that. She said that she went to the shelter and said, "What's your hardest dog to adopt?" And then she took that one. So that isn't the coolest thing you ever heard. I love the people on the life vote. What a cool thing to say. I've been putting my journal in the basket where I keep my meds. Otherwise, I won't remember to write. CK, that borderline genius. Truthfully, it is. You hear that, everybody? That's how you handle a situation, right? That's what you do. CK knows damn well, right, that not going to forget the meds. So, you go to the meds, you grab the journal, and you start going. And once journaling becomes a habit, once it really becomes a habit, it's going to change how you do everything in life anyway. You're going to make time for it. You will feel it's like when Alan Ballantyne doesn't walk, right? Alan works out so much now that if he takes a day off, he walks for an hour at a good clip every single day. He does tons of kilometers by the end of the month. But if he misses a day, he starts to feel miserable. He starts to, I shouldn't say miserable, but he certainly misses it. He misses it if he's not doing it. And journaling becomes the exact same way. You will get out of sorts. You will be like that V8 commercial that they used to show back in the 80s where the person's walking all sideways. I didn't have my V8 this morning. Well, that's how you're going to feel if you're not journaling. I promise you. You will get to a point where it's such a big part of your life that you cannot live without it. A 3-legged tripod pit bull, and they were the sweetest dogs. You know what? I think one of the reasons that we all gravitate toward rescue animals is because we're all rescue animals ourselves, right? Aren't there people in our lives who took a chance on us in spite of the fact that we looked like maybe we'd been through the ringer, and it would probably be a lot easier for them to, maybe make a friend with a little less baggage. maybe make a friend that's a younger model that hasn't been through the same things that we've all been through. But there are people out there that still love us and still take a chance on us, and that's a great feeling. So it makes complete sense to me that that everybody here is on the same page, and they all love the idea of adoption of an animal. I mean, it just think about it. If everybody on the lifeboat didn't say that, I would have been shocked. I would have been shocked. It's perfect in line with all of the values of what we do here, and it says wonderful things about each and every one of you. If you don't have an animal, people, I would recommend going down and getting yourself a shelter pet. You're not going to regret it. It's going to enrich your life. Make sure you plan ahead before you do it. The egg frying commercial. This is your brain. Then I have my Chewini. I know what a Chewini is. Her name is Coco, and she's my little Mexican hot dog. Chewinis are great. If I were to get a dog again in my life, I would get a Chewini. I had a Chewiner dog and a golden retriever, and the Chewini was the love of my life. She was a great dog. They're very, very intelligent. They're very, very cool animals. I know what they are. I love that they're letting prisoners. You know what, Kelly? There are places that do that, and they've had amazing results. Everywhere where they implement those things are they really, they always turn around the lives of the people that that they're working with. And I've been at a place. I've been in an institution that did have a dog program, and it was honestly fairly amazing watching just how much this meant to the inmates. Like there was nothing that they wouldn't do to ensure that that they weren't going to let anything come between them and that animal. So they made sure that nobody violated rules, because if somebody did, then they were separated from the animal that they come to love. And it's a beautiful program. It really is. And I think that it's probably one of the best rehab programs that they have in any of the prison systems. The pets programs are just fantastic. Okay. All right, people. That brings us to the top of the hour. We're very close to it. Squirrel is off running about. I'm sorry, peeps. But tonight there shall be no cat in the basket. Hold on one moment. You ever seen the Danish system, Tommy? It's like a resort, but they've eliminated drugs and brought recidivism down like 80%. Wardens talk to inmates, play games, etc. I have not, but I've seen other countries with a very similar model. where inmates are allowed to wear whatever clothing they want. They have keys to their doors. They have laptop computers. There's a lot of freedom. And yeah, they have a much higher success rate as well. Our system doesn't work. It's been broken for a long time. And they continue to do the same things over and over again, and they're not getting a different result. So, good night, everybody. I really appreciate you tuning in, and I will see you all on the lifeboat. I believe tomorrow morning will be Heather Joy, but I will see you all tomorrow night for Saturday Night Boat. I am Tommy. This is the lifeboat. Good night.